This story gives a pretty direct answer as to whether or not the war on drugs is working. A staff member of Senator John McCain has been arrested on drug charges after Maricopa County deputies raided her home and found a real, functioning meth lab, along with a ton of other drug-related stuff. The staffer was actually the person listed as Senator McCain's RSVP contact. So if you wanted to go to some fancy event to give McCain a bunch of money, this staffer with the meth lab in her house was the person you'd call to get on the list. This is a real-life drug story, not a hit Netflix show. And she didn't just have a meth lab in her house either. According to the Maricopa Sheriff's Office, detectives also found at the staffer's house LSD, cocaine, heroin, cooked methamphetamine, bomb-making materials, a bunch of counterfeit money, and about $7,000 in cash. Another building on her property had a hidden weed grow room, too. This is all at the house of the woman you were supposed to call if you wanted to hang out with Senator McCain. So that sounds pretty funny. Until you hear that a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old also lived at the house with all the drugs and the dangerous combustible meth lab, and that those 2 kids had easy access to all the drugs, bomb materials, and lab. Luckily, no injuries were reported. The sheriff's bomb squad was called in to clear the house of dangerous stuff, and everyone was evacuated safely, including neighbors. So, Senator McCain is not directly responsible for the staffer's actions, one could certainly say. But one could also certainly say he might be indirectly responsible, because he is one of the biggest warriors in Washington in the war on drugs. He loves the war on drugs and wants to fight it even harder. He wants bigger penalties for selling drugs. He wants the death penalty for drug kingpins. He's for tightening up the border with stricter control on who gets in to stem the flow of drugs. He's so against drugs, he's voted for funding drug control in other countries. And yet, meanwhile, since the senator has been perpetuating this war on drugs, the drug situation in this country has gotten so mutated that people are now cooking meth in their homes, even though they might blow up themselves and their children. To me, that's a direct answer that Senator McCain's war on drugs definitely is not working. Tonight, let's talk about that.